Hello friends, in today's video I want to show you how I made these sloped stepping stones, almost like a little staircase to my future vegetable garden, hopefully. What plants I used and my overall experience with the process. I started working on this side of my yard while we had workers finishing our fence. But I just realized while editing that I did not film any intro. So that's why you're seeing me today filming the intro with the finished project. And I'll show you in the following moments how I managed to carry all the stones and arrange them and which plant I used and how it all went. So as you guys know, I already brought some stones over here. I had some more in front of my garage. I brought those as well, and I figured, as you can see over there in the back, people are working on my fence. I'm so happy. I figured, why not go forage for some more stones? I live on top of a hill, and when we made the terracing of the terrain, there were a lot of big rocks that just some rolled over, which seems a bit counterintuitive now for me to go get them back. But there are a few smaller ones that I can grab, and I was thinking I take my wheelbarrow, yeah, it's looking very rough, and try to bring maybe 3 or 4 more. So wish me luck. Let's hope I won't die on this hill. Ended into abyss. You can see here the slope that I'm dealing with, which might not be bad because it might help me put the stones easier in the wheelbarrow. There are some smaller ones over there and over here, so I'm thinking I can grab some, and then hopefully on this little path I made earlier, just go back to the top of the hill and put them on the highest terrace of my yard. I'm going to grab this one first. What I've done, I just laid the wheelbarrow a little bit on the side. Sorry for the way I pronounce it. I will try to just roll it inside. Let's hope it works and I won't just tumble down at the bottom of the hill. Yay, so it's been a success what I've done. I just stayed on this side of the barrel, so I just rolled it in the cup. Now I think it's about 20 kilos, this stone alone. It's very sandy, and as you can see, it's not like your building type of stone, but for what it's worth, I think it's gonna be just perfect for what I need over there. Now, 4 trips later, and I have 4 big rocks for this area. What I've done in the morning was dig up a little bit of trench just to make a proper flowered bed. And what I've noticed, when it really rains badly, it's really hard to get at the top of the hill to throw out the kitchen scraps. So I was thinking I might be able to do a little staircase maybe from the rocks I got. Obviously, I would like a more proper stone for steps, but for now I think it can be a make-do type of situation where I can use the rocks I have and solve an issue with the muddy terrain. Yeah, so what I've done, because I still have a little bit of slope, I try to take out and make things a little bit straighter in this area and create a proper flower bed here in the corner. Now this is how the 3 steps I managed to do today look like. I went and picked up another stone. So I think that's gonna be it for today. That final stone, you almost cannot see it from down here. The idea was I wanted the place where you put your foot down to be at least for a full length. So what I did, I just brought another smaller piece and attached it to this one. Obviously you cannot see the cracks because I put some sand and dirt inside. I'm debating now myself whether I should make another final step or no from the upper part. What I think is missing is having one here, because there's still plenty of incline, and I just feel it's required to have another one over there. On a tour on how everything is looking. So I added a few more rocks just to balance things out, so these steps don't look just out of the place and out of nowhere. And I also added another one here, just to emphasize a little bit more the curve. And I think the steps are at the perfect height. And here at the end I just wanted to make a flat surface, because it's not quite a step but more of a end of the path. And maybe after I finish and work some more on my garden beds over here, I have to get rid of this huge berm. I can continue as a path towards my raised beds, so that's at least the plan. Then here on this other corner, yeah, well, what's in my dreams, it will not happen in reality too soon, but I just imagine a nice stream, a water feature. I find this process the most fun when you start placing your plants around, and the most rewarding, because you can actually see the progress of your hard work. After I pulled all the rocks from the hill, I was just tired, and yeah, it already looks quite nice, and it already has a good shape and a good backbone to my space. But after I put the greens in, oh, it's gonna be just fabulous. So I'll set up the camera and start fiddling a little bit around with my plants, and I hope you enjoy the process as much as I do. I will add first my evergreens, my conifers, junipers, the pine, just because those are longer lived plants, and I feel they are the backbone of the arrangement. I apologize for the commotion. It's just a fun sunny day, and the kids are enjoying themselves. They are absolutely enjoying the weather, as do I. And I know next week we'll have a really crummy period of time with lower temperatures. So um, yeah, I hope their voices just make you more joyous. So let's go plant some evergreens. My thought process when picking my plants for this area was that I tried to pick plants with very petite leaves, small needles, as small foliage as possible, just to make the rocks appear larger, because my boulders are not quite boulders per se, they are more like small sized pebbles not pebbles, but you know what I mean. I just want to create the sensation of the steps being more imposing and big and powerful. This is gonna be the first one that I place, and I was thinking I put it at the very top of the hill, maybe around here, because it has a darker needle to it. And then I have this trailing one that I was thinking I can put a little bit underneath where the slope is higher, just to make the slope more stable in time, so it doesn't get washed out so much by the rain. Then I have the juniper, procumbens, nana, and the camacypres. This one I liked just because of its darker, lighter and more yellowish color. And I'm thinking, as this is a very dark shade and that is similar as well and more towards a blue hue, what if I were to put this one over here? So I changed my mind, because after you get farther away and you see things in perspective, you can definitely change your mind. And maybe I could use this one here on the other side to have the same effect, maybe more like this. Now I have two evergreens that have a yellow hue, and I'm thinking the Tuya occidentalis, Mr. Bow, I can pull it behind a pine, just because it has a higher growth habit, and because it's a lighter color, it can contrast really nicely the pine. And the camacypres, just because it has such a weeping habit, I feel it would look much better at the bottom of the slope, maybe around here. Now, of course, I want to add some color and some trailing plants, so I'm bringing all my other perennials closer to my canvas, let's call it like that, to see where we can fit them in a proper and nice way. I start with aubrieta, just because I have 3 of them, and because they expand a little bit. They like this sloping situation. They like to be in a sandy, rocky soil. They are not very pretentious, and they bloom beautifully. And because I have 3 of them, I was thinking I start with them, just because I want a nice repeat all over my landscape. So there, in that corner, I have catmint. I planted it last spring from little seedlings, and I expect them to bloom beautifully this year. And because those are light purple and these will be light purple, even though they don't bloom at the same time. I think everything will look cohesive. So where should we put this one? I'm thinking I can add it maybe here, because I don't want it to come over my steps and make me avoid it and to try to not step on it. Maybe another one over here. Are they too far apart to look like from the same story? I don't think so. And maybe when the last one over here, I'm not very sure to put it at the very bottom of my slope, just because here the water gathers and I don't think this does very well in water. So what I will do, I'm thinking I can put it here. So real quickly how another variety of Obrieta looks in my garden. This is an Obrieta deltoid, while the one I just planted is Obrieta hybrid glacier sky blue. This one in the ground it's called cascade blue, but it's Obrieta deltoids, and the leaves you can see are much narrower, while this one has rounder leaves, and I suppose it's gonna be slightly bigger than the other one. So just imagine these puff clouds of purple over there on the hill. Then this is a darker luscious green. In similar shade of green I have this thyme that stays very low. It's almost like 3 centimeters in height, and this one I want to place just before my final step. And then I have another yellow thyme which can contrast really nicely everything else. I'm thinking this one to put it near the very dark colored. Would it be weird to be there? Let me take a step back and look at it. I think it works. It works nicely. Would it be nicer to have it with variegated? It's too much of the same shade and it almost loses its power. Now what about the sedum? What if I were to put the sedum here near the pine? I think the sedum looks really nice near the pine, and I still have another thyme which is variegated. What if I were to put this one as a backdrop here? How would that work? I'm afraid it's not contrasting enough the color of my stones, but I think it matches nicely this juniper. Then I have here a scabiosa. You know, guys, I changed my mind, and because I have the scabiosa which grows taller, do it for me here. I was thinking, what if I were to put a scabiosa over there and maybe find a different place for this little thyme. Then if I have the purple over there, I could put the little saxifraga. Now up there on the hill, I was thinking I create somewhat of a cottagey feeling. So I got these two delphinium from the nursery, I started quite a bunch of delphinium, but I want to show you the two varieties I got. It's delphinium black night and delphinium dark blue. In contrast to my seed delphinium, these have much bigger leaves, and I think they are quite taller than mine. Obviously, delphinium loves sunny spot with well-draining soil, so I was thinking I put these at the very tippy top of my hill, just dark black night, and this one dark blue, like this, because I want to transition into a cottagey feeling area until I get my veggie garden done. Then I have some salvia and the thyme. Now salvia, I think it will grow quite tall. So 2 autumns ago I planted a salvia, like a regular salvia, and it grew in the span of one summer, one autumn, to 50 centimeters. I don't know if this one will behave the same or no. I liked the speckled leaves and the fact they have a little bit of purple on the leaf, but if it's gonna grow that tall, and because it's somewhat grayish, I was thinking I put it more to the back of my arrangement, maybe around here, just to create a contrast, and because I don't have much blue besides the juniper green carpet. Besides the green carpet juniper, I don't have much blue. Now I'm still left with this thyme, which smells divine. You know what, I could put it right here at the very end. I think it will look absolutely great, because it's low growing and it's not gonna hide my little rock. And after placing everything, I think things will look very luscious and with a woodland inspired look. I don't think the plants are too close to my stepping stones, and I still have plenty of space for other annuals if I'd like to put some more. Oh, I have some annuals actually. I have these 2 primroses. They look a little bit rough, but you know, I could put these as well, because they naturalize and they'll grow here nicely. What if I were to put one over here and maybe another one farther apart over here? I think so. I finished planting everything and I really want to take you on a tour. This hill is facing south, so it's going to be a full sun position. So from this direction the steps curve towards the right, and I'm really happy with how things turned out. I put here the primrose. Oh, it's been a workout. I think after everything grows in just a tiny bit, everything will look like it belongs. What I should do though is to give everything a good fertilizing, and they maybe, if not today, mulch with the same wood bark I used on this other side, just to make things match a little bit. I'm so happy with how it looks. It's already looking so much more polished, with a cottagey mountain feel, without it being too preppy. In this corner I first planted the thuya a little bit closer. You see a little bit of dent there to the pine. Then I thought to myself that I should have spaced them better, also as it was on the same angle as the pine. From the very bottom of the slope you couldn't see at all the thuya. Happy with how things are spaced now and how they are arranged. I really think I should go get some more thyme just to make a bit of a drift in between those two last steps. I feel it's too much space, and I think these could really do well, maybe at least another 2 or 3. What else? I popped the sedum. This stone goes a little bit under the sedum, so I think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be in full sun and really well draining rocky soil, so I really hope it's gonna do well. All in all, I'm really happy, and the next step would be to go get my fertilizing bag for conifers and a bag of wood chips. You can tell I'm a little bit tired because it's harder for me to find my words. Let me know if you would have done something different. I really would love to hear from you and to see how you would have seen the plants spaced and planted in this sloping hill. My drip irrigation is not yet set to this side of the hill, and for that reason I'm gonna water with my can today. I'm curious how many cans I need just to water everything down. Thankfully the soil is already wet because of the rain we had. At the end of the project, I no longer have the energy to haul my mulch bags all the way up the hill. I have them here close by, and what I will do, I'll just put some mulch in my container and try to mulch everything down. Oh my goodness, you guys, what a world of a difference a little bit of mulch does. Everything pops, and you can actually see that's the new planting and things are tidier. I added here a little bit of mulch just to prevent this water washing. Hopefully it helps. I'm thinking I have to go bring another stone over there, this area, just to make a breaking in the slope. But I adore it. I don't know what you guys think. It's just, I'm delighted with how it turned out. And my final step here, which is a little bit synced in. Oh, I cannot express myself how happy I am. Again, I did not mulch this area just because I want to add some more plants, and I find it so much easier to dig up the soil when I don't have mulch placed down. And the same here, I definitely have to add another rock just to prevent this slope to decompose even further. And maybe I can add some other things in this area. But I am beyond delighted with how everything is looking. So even though my shape looks a little bit funny, like a little butterfly, in the end, after I finish planting here and here, everything will be a dark brown. So I think everything's gonna be amazing. I really hope you found this video enjoyable, inspiring, that it motivates you to go outside, get some vitamin D with this lovely sun, spring sun we are having. Until the next time, I wish you all a very nice time in your own gardens, if possible. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.